If you think celebrities are immune to disrespect, think again. Being famous and successful certainly shelters you from a lot of invasive interactions, but in many shocking instances, even big celebrities face offensive questioning in interviews and press conferences, which highlights a major issue of boundary crossing in the entertainment industry. Come along as we show you the most disrespectful questions ever asked by interviewers, which were highly inappropriately irreverent and honestly could be triggering. Number 10, Rihanna disappointed at Ashton Kutcher's question. Let's start with this immature act. For those who don't know, Rihanna and Ashton Kutcher had an alleged fling in March of 2012 when she was seen leaving Kutcher's house very early in the morning. However, Rihanna never acknowledged it publicly and remained tight-lipped about the whole matter. When this particular reporter asked if Ashton would make an appearance on the set of her 2012 movie Battleship, it clearly offended the singer, and she called the question disappointing.
Things are clearly going brilliantly in your career. I just wondered if you are as happy in your private life, and will we be seeing a certain Mr. Ashton Kutcher perhaps making a trip over here?
Wow, how disappointing was that question?
Should we move on to another one?
Absolutely.
I think there was a question. We've got to move on. I think
I'm
there's a
happy
question.
and I'm single, if that's what you were really asking.
We're with Rhea on this because always having to be answered for your love life everywhere you can go is pretty annoying. Number 9, Jerry Seinfeld responds to Larry King. There are 2 ways to respond to someone if they throw you a disrespectful question. Straightforward answer and shut it out, or post a counter question and make the person realize what they just did was wrong. Let's see which way Jerry Seinfeld chooses.
Lasted how long?
9 years, 180 episodes.
You gave it up, right?
I did.
They didn't cancel you. You canceled them.
You're not aware of this?
No, I'm asking you.
You think I got canceled? Are you under the impression that I got canceled?
Have I hurt you, Jerry?
Well, that was very direct, Larry. They didn't cancel you? Come on, you didn't have to do that to your guest. When you've given 9 years of your life to a show and worked on 180 episodes, that product's like your baby. No wonder Jerry got sensitive about it. Good thing Larry immediately realized and had a change of heart and said, "Have I hurt you, Jerry? You're so right, you did." Number 8, Tom Hardy asked about his sexuality. This one is straight up embarrassing.
But given interviews you've done in the past, your own sexuality seems a bit more ambiguous. Do you find it hard for celebrities to talk to media about their sexuality?
What on earth are you on about? But what is your question?
I was wondering if you find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality.
I don't find it difficult for celebrities to talk about their sexuality. Are you asking me about my sexuality?
Sure.
Why?
Why?
Thank you.
Okay.
Imagine coming to a press conference, which is totally a work thing, and then a journalist randomly out of nowhere asks about your sexuality? What were you thinking, my friend? It's high time that the media folks take a step back and rethink our choices. We'd suggest putting yourself in their shoes and then having to hear totally irrelevant questions like that. Also, kudos to Tom for maintaining his calm demeanor and handling that very well. The polite thank you at the end was definitely the cherry on top. Number 7, Scarlett Johansson asked about her undergarments. It's appalling that in the modern age we're living in, women are still being subjected to degrading questions like this. We bet you've seen something similar like this before, but nonetheless, it's infuriating and possibly sickening.
Now, were you able to wear undergarments?
You're like the 5th person that's asking
Well, no,
that
because
What is going on? Since when did people start asking each other about in interviews about their underwear?
No, this is not a.
Is what I.
Is it inappropriate?
To ask somebody what kind of underpants they wear?
I didn't ask you what kind.
You just asked me if I was wearing any.
Scarlett Johansson played Black Widow in the Avengers franchise and was incredible in it, but it's really sad how she was reduced to such idiotic questions about her costumes, looks, and challenges as a woman in a star-studded superhero movie.
Scarlett, to get into the shape of Black Widow, did you have anything special to do in terms of the diet? Like you have to eat some specific food or that sort of thing?
If I've learned anything, it's that people are much more interested in your second question to Scarlett than any answer I can give to mine.
Scarlett. I was just gonna say that very thing. That's so funny. I was like, how come you get like the really interesting like existential question and I get the like rabbit food question? I don't know. Yes, surely. You know, you're training and doing all that stunt work, and so you eat a lot of green things
People need to realize that female stars are worth beyond their physicality. Let's just start recognizing them for their talent and intelligence and put an end to the blatant displays of ignorance here. Number 6, reporter asks Lady Gaga if she has a penis. Coming up next is something I have no words for. You'll just kind of have to check it out for yourself.
Wondering about, do you have a penis or not? You know, my beautiful is very offended by that question.
Really? So you got a vagina? Now we all know that. Thank you.
Who even hired this lady? Does she even understand the words coming out of her mouth? Gaga's response was rather civil to a stupid question like that, if you ask me. Quote, my beautiful is very offended by that question. Those are words of a very classy lady that you cannot bring down. Number 5, Hayley Williams asked about her last orgasm. Another show, another lady guest, another sexual question. What even is this with these interviewers? Why can't they come up with better questions? This is honestly kind of frustrating to watch.
Was your last orgasm?
We don't talk about that on the radio.
On fait ça à la radio.
Ici on peut, hein?
In France, it's allowed.
That's not cool.
Good thing she stood her ground and refused to entertain a nonsensical question. Shout out to the guy beside her to call out the other dudes for their demeaning behavior. Number 4, Taylor Swift told to shower. Now, let's talk about the time when a reporter told Taylor Swift she needed a shower after her show.
We'll see you very soon. It's nice to see you. I think you need to have a shower now.
I agree, and I'm not offended that you said that. There's a lot going on, and none of it's good here.
We'll see you soon. Thank you. Nice to see you.
See, this one's a little tricky. Did he mean well? Probably. Was it necessary to point it out? Probably not. Taylor seemed fine and said she wasn't offended, but we all know that being told to get a shower on live TV is a bit personal. We're sure the Swifties would have to say something about that. Number 3, Oprah Winfrey asks Michael Jackson if he's a virgin. And here comes our top 3s now, ladies and gentlemen, making it to the 3rd spot, yet another sexuality talk.
I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
That means that you believe that a lady is a lady, and therefore...
That's something that's private. I mean, you know, shouldn't be spoken about openly. You can call me old-fashioned if you want, but, you know, to me that's very personal.
The audacity of Oprah's admitting that what she's about to ask is embarrassing and then asking it anyway is beyond me, but my goodness. Jackson's response was so thoughtful and his expression so nice. He's really a gentleman. He was so polite and delivered his message with grace. Truly a king. As for Oprah, next time you got a legend on your show, maybe ask better questions about his phenomenal singing and dancing for a change. Number 2, Jay Leno being mean to Kanye West. If you think you've seen the rudest ones, wait till you see this one. Jay Leno asked Kanye West what his dead mother would do if she would see Kanye's behavior, to which Kanye got silent and teary.
Let me ask something. I was fortunate enough to meet your mom. What do you think she would have said about this?
This happened after the whole VMA incident when Kanye was not in everyone's good books at the time. What Kanye did was out of line for sure, but this too was out of line and honestly completely unnecessary. Bringing up someone's dead mother who died 2 years ago, that's a no. Number 1, reporter reminds Robert Downey Jr. about his past. And drumroll, here comes number 1 most disrespectful question, so low that the interviewer should just stop being an interviewer and take an early retirement. We as humans are flawed. Everyone's done things they're not proud of, but our mistakes don't define us. Our past is behind us and we definitely shouldn't be judged for it if we work to be better. This is what we've been taught since childhood, but I guess some people just don't learn.
You've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that, taking drugs and drinking and all of that. You know, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Okay.
Bye.
The reporter had no right to scratch those wounds. His alcohol and drug problems are his past. He needs to be seen as his own man right now. The media needs to stop bringing this stuff up. It's just insensitive. As the old saying goes, if you can't say something nice, don't say something at all.